and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking about how to increase and support uterine lining through the use of foods and nutrition. There are a lot of different studies that have been done on the impact of different types of food or compounds found in food and their ability to increase uterine lining. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this video, I'm going to cover specific food types and which foods in those types are going to be highest in the activity or in the supportive nature when it comes to uterine lining. Now, before we begin, why would you want your uterine lining to increase? So when it comes to medical fertility treatments, that is one of the factors that is being tracked to see when implantation should occur, when transfer really should be occurring. So when you're going all natural, you're not really able to necessarily track these types of things. But if you are going all natural and wondering, do I need to support my uterine lining? That would be beneficial if you're someone who has very scanty or light cycles, or if your period happens to be like very light in color or strawberry, you'd want to also take steps to support your uterine lining. Now, if you're preparing for medical fertility treatment, getting this feedback from your doctor, these are some steps that you can take right away to have an impact within the next couple of days, to have a direct impact. That is one of the best things when it comes to nutrition, is how quickly it can work within the body. So let's go over the different types of foods and how they can impact your uterine lining. The first is going to be vitamin E rich foods. There was a study done on the use of vitamin E. 400 IU was used per day and its impact on endometrial lining, and it was definitely beneficial. There was a big difference between the placebo group and the vitamin E supplementation group. Now, when it comes to vitamin E, it's been shown to increase endometrial thickness, shown significant increases in endometrial thickness in women who previously had implantation failure. The next cycle, they took vitamin E 400 IU as a supplement. Now, when it comes to vitamin E, there's a lot of foods that are rich in vitamin E, so you don't necessarily need to be using a supplement. Here's a list of the top 5 foods that are rich in vitamin E that could be added to your diet. You could go to the store right now and go and pick these up. The first is going to be wheat germ oil. This will be the highest because it is an oil, it's concentrated. 1 tablespoon is going to give you 20 milligrams of vitamin E content. Sunflower seeds are very high in vitamin E. About a handful is what would be needed on a daily basis. Almonds are another nut that's very high in vitamin E, as is hazelnut oil. Hazelnut oil is going to be a little harder to find, and pine nuts are very high in vitamin C. Those are a little bit harder to find, and they're on the expensive side. They're one of my favorite nuts though. Adding any of those to the diet on a daily basis, again, you could also supplement with vitamin E. They use 400 IU in the study. Next is going to be omega-3 foods. So foods that are high in essential fatty acids, specifically omega-3. My favorite for this is going to be ground flaxseed. So adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed is going to do this for you. I would add 1 or 2, and helping to improve blood flow to your lining. That's one of the things that essential fatty acids are known for, as well as reducing inflammation. I'm not going to cover it in this video, but in another video, I covered the impacts of inflammation on implantation and on IVF and IUI procedures. And there was a direct correlation between high markers of inflammation and low success rates. So doing what we can to reduce inflammation, omega-3 foods, rich foods, are one of the best ways to do that. Next is going to be adding antioxidant-rich foods to your diet. This can be done through fruits and vegetables. Anything with color is going to be high in antioxidants. This is going to help with reducing inflammation. So there's kind of a correlation you're going to see here. The next is to eat fiber-rich foods. Fiber-rich foods are going to be helpful in how they impact hormonal health. Now, these would have an impact over time more so than in the moment, like some of these other foods. But foods that are high in fiber are going to be plant-based foods. So that's the easiest way to know. If it's a whole food and it grows on the earth, it's going to be high in fiber. The next is going to be increasing the protein in your diet, so eating more protein-rich foods. Now, for this, I actually suggest eating more legumes, and this is because they have like 3 additional benefits. The first is going to be they're high in protein. The second is they're going to be high in lignans, phytoestrogens, which are going to help to increase estrogen if it happens to be low. If you have high estrogen already, it's not going to do anything to increase your estrogen. Next thing is that lentils and legumes are going to be high in folate. Folate is really important in that early phase of pregnancy before you can even get a positive pregnancy test, when the neural tube is being formed in the fetus. And that's extremely important. And if there is a folate deficiency, it can affect how that develops. So legumes, I think, are a fantastic way because you're hitting 3 different points. Also, they're high in iron, which is our next category of food you want to include. Iron-rich foods. I really love beets for this category. One, they are high in iron, but they also increase circulation to the uterus, which is very important when it comes to increasing uterine lining. And I'm gonna have a little bonus tip on how to do that, some self-care therapies here at the end. But increasing your intake of iron-rich foods, legumes are gonna hit this. There's a lot of different foods such as spinach that are high in iron that you can add. Also pomegranates and berries. They're gonna hit antioxidant, they're gonna hit iron, they're gonna have anti-inflammatory compounds in them. So those are some great foods. Protein-rich foods are going to be anything from lean meats, fish, legumes. Soy products are fantastic because they are also very rich in phytoestrogens at that point. All right, so those are the different categories. You're going to want to increase your foods that are vitamin E rich, omega-3 rich, have antioxidants, are fiber rich, protein rich, and then the last category, iron, also iron rich foods. The last category is going to be phytoestrogen rich foods. One of the best foods for that are going to be soy foods, so tofu or edamame would be fantastic, and the other is going to be flax, which we already talked about. So adding these to help to increase the uterine lining is a great idea. Now here's some kind of bonus therapies that you could use. Increasing circulation to the uterus can also help with healthy uterine lining. One of my favorite ways to do that is Womb Care Castor Oil Packs. It's an organic castor oil blend with essential oils that you apply to a pack that comes in the kit. You apply it to your lower abdomen, increases circulation to the uterus. That's going to be super beneficial. Also specific acupressure points that you can use. I have a program called Drop Cycle Method that teaches you self-acupressure for the different phases of your cycle. There is a specific protocol that you would use during the follicular phase when your uterine lining is growing and thickening. That could also help to stimulate that as well. And self-fertility massage is definitely always recommended during this time. Now, if you have any questions about how to better support uterine lining and implantation, I'm going to put a link below to a checklist that I created about how to support your implantation, and uterine lining and supporting uterine health is a major part of that. So find the link below, you can download that. If you have any questions, you can reach out to naturalfertilityshop.com, and I will see you in the next video.